पानी नहीं बोतल ज़रूरत है. Right, we're back, Bash. Let's go. And we're going to be talking about Sir Bobby Charlton. Sadly passed away today at the age of 86. England's greatest ever player. Arguably Manchester United's greatest ever player. Let's be real, that's what we're here to discuss. Is he United's greatest ever player? Is he England's greatest ever player? I'm just going to rattle off some of his achievements as an intro. 3-time league winner, 1-time FA Cup winner, 1-time Champions League winner, won the Ballon d'Or, won the Football Writers Association Player of the Year, won the World Cup in 1966. He was the best player, awarded the best player at that World Cup, part of the team of the tournament. And then in 1994, he was selected in the all-time World Cup greatest team. He was selected 16th in FIFA's Player of the Century voting, and he was selected 14th in UEFA's Player of the Century voting. He was given BBC Sports Personality Lifetime Achievement Award in 2008. This man was a bona fide legend and phenomenal. And I tell you what, the greatest quality about him was, it wasn't his football, it was the way he held himself as a man. Never boasted once, he was never arrogant. Like I said, for me, Bash, you know what the funny thing is, right? Let's just be real. We were talking about this guy a couple of nights ago. How mad is that? You said to me, I did a streets video on Bobby Charlton. I said, the kids that are watching our page nowadays, they won't know him. So that's why we're actually doing a podcast, because we're called Goats and Sheep. Right? Me growing up, Bash has explained in a podcast previously, growing up, I'm, like encyclopedic I was about football. Always looking into the history of the game. For those of you who say, oh, you never watched this guy play, never watched that guy play, go shove your heads up your backside. How else do you know about where you are right now without knowing where you came from and who came before? Yeah. But you got to study.
It's good to do your research and of course, know what's going on.
And who were the men before, the Messis and the Ronaldos. It was R9, it was Zidane. Before R9, Zidane, you had the era of Maradona, Van Basten, Gullit, Baresi, the Italian era of the league and everything. Before that, Beckenbauer, Cruyff, Best, Charlton, Eusebio, De Stefano, Puskas, etc., etc. You need to know. Garincha as well, yeah, we could go on. Didi was a sick player for Brazil, yeah, Pele, Mario Zagallo, I could go Jairzinho, Rivellino, Zico, Socrates, Dennis Law, we could go on and on and on and on, but that's what we're here for. And today's podcast is on Bobby Charlton. 49 goals for England in 106 caps, 249 goals for Manchester United in 758 appearances.
1 in 3.
1 in 3. Lampard before there was a bloody Frank Lampard, right? Straight up, what a bloody elegant footballer.
Left-footed, right-footed, Tonka shots, amazing.
Gee, we were
smash them in. Wow.
You know when they say highlights compilation, we were checking some of this guy's clips out, right? Yo, this guy was a cheat code like something.
Elegance on the ball, man.
Moving in with that left foot.
You know what?
Touch,
I
right
had to ask Didi, I go, is this guy left-footed?
Nah.
That good. That good on the ball, is dribbling with the left foot.
So growing up, who did we always refer to the most two-footed player that we knew? Zinedine Zidane. Yeah. I'd say that, yeah? Up there with Zidane, you had Pavel Nedved, Santi Cazorla was sick. You could go on. There's loads of great players that have been ambidextrous and they've been so good at using both feet. Yeah. Bobby Charlton is right up there with the greatest. Cristiano Ronaldo, like we always talk about, amazing with both feet. Bobby could hit him. Wow, he had a missile in either foot. Bro, the volleys we seen him hit.
To think like the quality of the pitches back then, the weight of the ball.
Right, let's talk about that.
Amazing.
Let's be real, yeah. So a lot of people nowadays...
He's third in England's all-time goal scorer. Sorry, go on.
We'll get to that as well, yeah. Bang on. You know, a lot of people, right, the point I want to make is a lot of people say, oh, modern football is better than the eras that have gone by. Okay, the standard has improved, obviously, of the pitches, sport science behind the scenes. You've got... the fitness is better, they got more to their game, obviously, etc., etc., etc.
I think, to be honest with you,
that's why we should give more credit.
That only makes it easier for them.
Thank you very much.
Having everything there on a plate only makes it easier for them. Yeah, they're playing a lot of games, whatever, but they're getting paid a lot of money. So, like, for Bobby Charlton and these, like, what would Bobby Charlton be worth in today's market? That's a question. Yeah, that's a question I'll put forward to you. In today's market right now, Jude Bellingham just went for 110 or whatever it was, 115. You had Caicedo going for the same. You had...
when are we talking in his career? He won the World Cup. Do you get what I mean? When am I buying?
The peak of his powers.
All right, so Bobby Charlton, just after he's won the World Cup, he's the man. He's about to win the European Cup with Manchester United as their captain after survive. And you know what? I forgot to mention of everything unbelievably, man. That's stupid of me. The most the biggest part of his life, the thing that drove him
he
on,
carried-
the biggest episode of his life.
Carried the club forward with Sir Matt Busby.
Was the Munich air crash, and obviously he was only 20 at the time, and he survived that. And then 10 years later, he was the captain. Great story, great redemption story,
The
amazing
first
story.
English team to win the
To
European
the
Cup.
European Cup. And the Busby Babes were going to win it. Let's be
I'm
real.
the only part of the only England team, well, the best player for the only England team to
To have
ever win.
a major trophy.
major trophy.
Any major trophy.
There you go.
And they actually came third in the 1968 European Championships as well. So he came as close as anyone else has for the England
You said
national
he
team to
came
winning that.
runner-up Ballon d'Or couple of
1967
times, as well
and
as winning
68.
it, as well as winning it.
66 he won it, so 67 he came runner-up, 68 he came runner-up.
There you go.
Phenomenal footballer, unbelievable.
Numbers
right?
themselves.
So in today's market, you're asking me, how much would he be worth? He's both footed, right? He's got a shot from range.
1 in 3
One in
goals.
three games.
Appearances.
Yeah, right. Ooh.
England's greatest ever player. Obviously, it wasn't then.
Oh no, we're
but
talking about him in his peak, so he's England's best player.
best player.
Yeah, 150 million I'm taking.
Minimum.
Minimum. 150 million easy. Bro, in today's inflated market, bro,
Unreal, man.
you really need to go watch this guy play. Go watch David Beckham's game after him, for example.
You got to remember, yeah, like when United won the European Cup with Bobby Charlton in the team, we were playing against the great Benfica at the
Yeah,
time.
they
We
were,
were
yeah,
undisputed in Europe. They
Two-time-
were the kings.
Yep.
Eusebio was at the peak of his powers.
100%.
Who was Portugal's original golden boy before Cristiano ever came
The Black
along.
Panther, mate.
He was the man that Ronaldo overtook. So for Bobby to outshine him in a final,
Not just in the final, in the World Cup
and
as
the whole
well.
thing, yeah.
In the 1966, they played them in the
Semi-finals,
and
yeah.
he got the double like we watched just
Brilliant,
now. And why I'm saying that is because Eusebio had 9 goals leading up to that.
Yeah.
He was the main man of the World Cup and that World Cup as well. But there's a reason Bobby Charlton won Golden Ball at
You know
that
what it
World
is?
Cup.
Bobby had it all.
And what did Beckenbauer say? Beckenbauer said if there was no Bobby Charlton in 66, we're winning that final.
Yeah.
It's because of him that
He
day.
says Bobby was a little bit better than me.
And look
And
at
that's
the,
Franz Beckenbauer.
the Kaiser, man. You know, Beckenbauer, in my opinion, top 5 greatest players of all time.
He's one of the revolutionary players.
Top 5.
100%.
Probably. And
Top
if you want
10,
to argue easy top 10, I'll argue top 5 all day for you, yeah? Bobby Charlton in my list, I think when I did compile my top 50 list, Bobby Charlton was number 14 on my list, so I'm not going to lie, and I was saying it to you a couple of nights ago, he's so underrated here, he's not spoken about enough.
Because obviously back then there was no proper coverage, was there? You know, compared to today's day and age, you know, you
Not
got
just
social
that.
media, you got TV.
So,
going
but
left,
you know, the likes of
centre,
Bobby Moore more
the betting.
revered than Bobby Charlton, they have
Yeah,
been.
because
Why is that? And it goes back to his character, I think, he's very
I
humble.
think not just that, it's a London thing as well with England. United, if you notice over the years, United players have never been serenaded or anything by
Other than Beckham.
even Beckham, man. How much have they shown him hate? Rooney got his love as well, but even him, like
Fair
every
point,
United
okay,
player
yeah,
that
right. But I think Bobby
seem to
did.
put the England shirt on, they just don't get.
No, but does Bobby Charlton not transcend all that with everything that he went through, the Munich air crash? Is you know the
Well, England fans don't care about that. They don't care about
I'm
that.
not gonna
They just
go into
wanna. Oh, and obviously we can go into that. We can't go into that. But the thing is, we're talking about specifically England right
Yeah.
now. Yeah. When it comes to England, if he's the main guy for them in 1966.
Yeah.
In 1966, who else is there? Why can't they sing about him more? You tell me. Why is Bobby Moore? Why is Bobby Moore celebrated more?
more. He was the captain of the team, probably. That's why. That's all I can think of, probably.
Well,
He
this
captained
guy
him.
scored so many important goals throughout the run out.
The semi-final double against Portugal, got
There
the
you
winner
go.
against
There
Mexico,
you go.
the first group win. Obviously, he's the best player in the final, like Beckenbauer said. So yeah,
Went through so much in his
I think
career.
that's what we're talking about. Is Bobby Charlton is England's greatest player, so yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to throw a question back at you. I said he's worth over 150. You agreed. Who is he most like in today's game? So he could play anywhere across the forward line, Bobby Charlton. He could play up front. 1 in 3, like we said. Got both feet. Rocket of a shot. What a passer. Oh my days. Go check some of this guy's passing out with his left foot outside of the boot. And this guy was taking the piss.
So elegant,
Filter.
so technical.
Naughty, mate.
And on them pitches, just running through,
That's what I'm saying.
gliding. The man
On them pitches.
the man glided.
Right, you compared him like the way he was dribbling like Zinedine Zidane a bit.
Yeah.
Would you say he was, from what you've seen, obviously, like, we're not saying Bobby Charlton is as great as Zidane, but I'll tell you something, right? I'll have a debate with anyone, he's in the conversation. Or with all the greats.
The thing is,
He's a GOAT.
The thing is, none of them players, even the ones that I love, even the ones you love, or the ones we both love, they didn't go through what he had to go through.
personal and mentality-wise, they built him up.
With the Munich air disaster, you know, carrying that team along the way, you know, with the manager, with Samad Busby, and then building it with, you know, with the rest of the team that they managed to build. How can you even compare him to any of them? None of them have had adversity like that in their career, and for him to come out of it, win the European Cup, win the World Cup, no one's done it. See, no one's done it till this day. No one for England has won a World Cup.
Yeah.
So the longer them years go on, the bigger the legends of that team are.
100%.
100%.
Michael Owen won a Ballon d'Or, the only one after Bobby Charlton, English player to win it. Did he deserve it as much as Bobby Charlton in that year?
I mean, Michael Owen was a phenomenal talent at the time, but what did they win?
The treble. The treble. I'm messing. Right, we'll go back to Bobby. We're concentrating on Bobby today, don't worry. We're not going to go into Liverpool before everyone has a beach fit.
Bobby, what you got to rate about Bobby is, not only did he conquer it for England, conquer it for United, but also his loyalty towards United.
100%.
Man was at every game until the last year or two.
So
it's unbelievable.
The arc was obviously started off as a schoolboy at Manchester United, won everything there, finished his career there, stayed on as a director more or less, you can say, or went on to become the director. Backed Fergie to the nines. He was Fergie's guy all the time.
Yeah.
Backed the team. He's the guy who found David Beckham. It was in his soccer school that Beckham got discovered. Beckham's named after him, for God's sake.
Yeah,
Beckham's dad's favourite player is Bobby Charlton. We were talking about, I think that's where it all came from a couple of nights ago, because we just watched the Beckham documentary, right? We were talking about Beckham. And was it David Robert Beckham, his name is, obviously, and that's named after Bobby Charlton. And it just connects, like he said, fitting in. I would compare him, you know what? I think he had more to his game than Wayne Rooney, you'd say. Rooney didn't have as a good left foot as him. He has as good a shot as Wayne Rooney. He scored as many goals as Wayne Rooney, because Rooney broke his records for both of them. He didn't really smash his records, he just broke them and that's it.
Yeah.
I would compare him to Wayne Rooney, mate. He's straight up better.
I think
his mentality was better.
Do you know what it is? His mentality 100% was better. But I think the thing is, because I've got a personal affection towards Rooney.
I think that's what I'm saying to you.
The team, it's hard for me to say that. Do you know what I mean? Even though I've watched Bobby over the years, like clips and on MUTV and whatever I've seen, whatever I've learned, it's hard. It's hard to say, because Rooney did have it all in his game. But did Rooney ever do anything for England?
Nah, he didn't. Really. He didn't really.
Nothing really. No one did, to be fair, in that golden generation.
We are going to do a pod on that anyway.
No one did, so we won't just lay the blame on Rooney. But what I'm saying is, Bobby Charlton carried England. Well, he was part of, he was a major part of the team.
Yeah.
So, you probably have to argue Charlton, won't you? If you look from an outside
view... Do you know what's surprising?
If you look from an outside view, you'd probably argue Charlton.
Michael Owen didn't break his record. Gary Lineker didn't get past his record. Jimmy Greaves didn't get past his record. Alan Shearer. These are all pure number nines, top number nines that played for England.
He's a midfielder.
That's what I'm saying. He was a cam.
Yeah.
Played in central midfield, played off the left, played off the right. It's amazing that he got that many goals, bro. Lampard's always spoken about. Honestly, I know I keep saying it throughout this bloody podcast, but Bobby Charlton deserves his flowers, and that's what we're here for, to give him his flowers,
He's definitely England's greatest player.
Done. Manchester United, where do you put him in the rankings? This is where we really want to get to. This is where it gets spicy, mate. Spicy up, come on, let's be real. Who do you pick?
I think for United, it's Rooney.
The greatest ever player? You're going to go for Wayne Rooney? I know in polls he's been picked as King Eric Cantona. For me, he's always been King Eric Cantona.
I love Cantona. I love Charlton Best. I've seen Charlton Best Law, the famous trio. I've seen it all. I've seen every team. I've seen the shit team as well. And I've seen today's shit team.
We 1-2-1, mate.
But we're repping, mate. We're repping.
I'm only repping because Bobby Charlton, obviously.
He's repping, mate.
I am repping, yeah. Bobby Charlton, isn't
it?
I'm only messing, man.
But... what was I saying? It's Rooney because accolades.
Okay.
Accolades. And remember, even though Rooney's a number 9, Rooney was never an out-and-out number 9. He was always everywhere.
Yeah, he did sacrifice.
So if you look at his record for United, it's just under, I believe, 1 every 2 games.
Of course it is. But then again, he played more as a striker than Bobby Charlton did.
Oh, yeah. Bobby Charlton was a pure midfielder, but Rooney's won loads of league titles, isn't it? That's because of Fergie as well, but it is what it is.
So we've already said...
I've gone on accolades, innit, bro? But as a player, you'd have to argue Charlton, wouldn't you?
Since the start of football till now, we're saying that he's England's greatest player. Surprisingly, no one's been able to overtake him.
60 years on, bro.
60 years on.
Yeah.
Who do you think has got a chance to overtake him, and how will they overtake him? Is it someone?
I think if Bellingham can win the World Cup for England,
Yeah.
I'm not saying he'll be greater than Charlton,
Okay.
but I'm saying he can be in the conversation. If he carries on this trajectory at Madrid, scored bloody 10 goals or whatever it is, somewhat daft in 12 games or whatever it is, wins the Champions League for Madrid, starts winning a few league titles and manages to win a World Cup, not a Euros, a World Cup.
All right, a World Cup then.
Yeah, no, ain't no baby game, bro.
So somebody needs to win the World Cup.
Jude Bellingham can get to that level. I'm not saying he will. I'm saying he can.
Other
There's
than
something
him,
about him. There is no one
we'll
else.
see.
Who
So
else
right
is
now,
there?
right now,
Who else
I'll
is
agree.
there?
I will agree. I will
Harry
agree.
Kane's good.
But he's got. I think
Foden's good. They're all good players. They're very good players, but they're not on that level. That's elite.
this is what I'm saying, man.
We were talking about elite the other day, weren't we, with Hazard? Bobby Charlton was elite.
Right. I said he's in my top 15 of all time. He's England's
He
greatest
has to be
ever player.
elite.
That's mental, bro. Why isn't he like? I can't get my head around that. I know I'm saying I'm stressing it a lot on the podcast, right? It's just not spoken about enough.
Because England have never won shit as well. You're saying, why hasn't anyone else managed to catch him? Why hasn't anyone else been on that level? England have never won shit. They've never done out. They always flop when it comes to the big time. This guy didn't flop. He had the biggest balls going.
That's what I'm saying. Obviously, because of the adversity he's faced in his career. What was the World Cup final when you gone through what you gone through, man? That's what I'm saying.
Bro, he lost half his team, man.
It's all his friends.
They've been brothers, friends, you know what I mean?
He went back into the plane
Camaraderie, bro.
to drag a few of them out.
And they won the European Cup after that. How
10 years
how
after,
crazy is that?
that's, you know, Bobby Charlton's story is one of the best stories in football, bro. 100.
And, you
100.
know,
It has to be. His, obviously, Jack Charlton was his brother as well. So both brothers conquered the world of football. And there you are, mate. I think he's, for me, he's England's greatest sub. You didn't say he's United's greatest. I'll give you my verdict on that. I'll give you my top 5 United players. Go on. Eric Cantona.
I'm not.
I'll give you a minute. Eric Cantona, Bobby Charlton, George Best, Wayne Rooney, Paul. Yeah, go on. I'll just put Paul Scholes in. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Scholes. I'll have to put. I was going to say Cristiano Ronaldo
But he
because
didn't
he won
stay
the Ballon
long
d'Or.
enough.
He didn't stay long enough. So yeah, Paul Scholes.
But Ronaldo's top 10 defo.
No, 100% Ronaldo's top 10
100%.
because of what he did. I mean, very few players reach the levels that he reached. Like we said, is Bobby Charlton reached that level at Manchester United.
Bobby Charlton's the man for England and for Man United. And
For
that's
me-
a massive thing, bro.
Arguably, he's United's greatest ever player. Let's be real. If he's going toe to toe with all of them.
Everyone, yeah.
He's going toe to toe with anyone. In terms of the greatest cams in world history of football, he's in the top 10. Again, he goes toe to toe with anyone, in my opinion. One of the greatest players of all time. Go check him out. If you don't know, now you do. This is what we do in the Goats and Sheep show. Undoubtedly, a GOAT of football. Undoubtedly, England's GOAT. And one of Manchester United's GOAT. There you are. We'll be back for the next podcast. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you very much.
The streets will never forget Bobby Charlton.